Hello, and welcome to the Broke But Not Broken podcast, episode L. I'm actually recording this one right after episode K, and that's because I hit 20 minutes and I wanted to take advantage of the fact that I had a lot more to say. So I'm just gonna double up and make two episodes back to back. Um, I guess it's a little redundant at this point, but this is your host, Des, and let's just get into the rest of my notes. So, this thing probably should have been mentioned a while ago, but the reason why it wasn't is because I have, as you can see, a terrible schedule when it comes to actually outputting these podcasts. So maybe back in around episode G, um, I which was January. That was about 5 months ago or so. I actually moved, so that I could be closer to my college up in the Bronx, and as well as the high school I was working at, also in the Bronx. This is the first time. I mean, granted, it's been 5 months now, but let's just say this is the first time that I have moved out and am on my own. I am not living in an apartment by myself. I'm living with roommates or other roommates who I don't know personally, but they seem cool. Um and so I don't have like full privacy, but I have more privacy than I ever had back home. I'm still a little conscious conscious. I can't. I don't. You know what I'm trying to say about my independence. I had a bunch of posters that I've been saving over the years from anime conventions and Comic Con conventions. Um, kind of a little redundant there. I said Comic Con conventions, but con is convention. But whatever. I don't need to um, grammar attack myself, right? Um, so I got to put some posters up. I have a nice chalkboard up, which I haven't touched in a bit, but it's just fun. It's fun to have a chalkboard. I'm a maths nerd. You know. Um, what else? Got my own desk. I got my own computer. I mean, I've been cooking my own meals and quotes. Been a lot of air frying and stuff. Yeah, just December, and then who knows? Maybe I'll move back home for a bit. It really depends on where I am, because right now I'm pretty lost. That's for a later episode though. When it comes to what's going on in my life, because I am a mess right now. So with the mess situation, I'm trying to at least see if I can, maybe do something, right? Do something to feel a little bit more fulfilled. And one of those things is that I think in the one of the earlier episodes, I mean, there hasn't been that many. I like to self attack myself on that one. One of the earlier episodes of the podcast, I mentioned that I am working on a poetry book. It's a book of 100 of my poems. And after scavenging through all my different documents and my notes and my older school projects, college assignments, and placing them all in a single document, I have about 85 poems that are, some of them are incomplete, some of them need some revision for sure. Um, some of them, yeah, some of them might have to be cut because they might be a little too. I might not like them anymore. I have to read them through, but I've just been collecting and into a single document, and I have about 85 poems. Um, so I need about 15 more to say I have 100 poems. So 15 poems, I can do that. Definitely by the end of this year. But in a smaller goal, I would like to um maybe actually have this book published by the end of the summer. Because right now I have nothing lined up for the summer. I had some things lined up for the summer, but those are gonna fall through, and I'm gonna talk about that in the whole like I have no idea what I'm doing in my life right now. But I think that'll be for the next episode. Somebody's making a note of that right now. Mm, cool, cool. Yeah, 15 more poems. I really like some of the ones I wrote. Um, I want to. I think it's really cool to have my own physical book. I'm not doing it for money because I don't think anyone who I don't know is gonna buy it. But if it takes off, it takes off. That'd be pretty cool. Um, yeah, I really like some of the things I've written. Not everything equally. Got a message. Is it important? Sorry, 1 second. It actually looks like spam, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Um, where was I? Yeah. It'd be nice to have my own book. I think that'd be pretty cool. And honestly, like it's a little bit jumping the gun here, but I actually have an idea for my next poetry book. Um, I don't want to share it right now, but it can't be. It's completely a separate idea from my current one. My current one's just 100 poems, right? 100 of my own poems, which I didn't realize was a lot. Um, Maybe next time I aim for like 75. That might be more like still substantial, but like a little bit more easier to work with. But and I'm thinking about it. If it's 100 poems and they're double sided, that's only 50 pages. Pretty small book, but um, I think it would be nice to have a small poetry book than a thick book, anyways. Yeah. So that book is coming out this year for sure, and the summer is what I'm hopeful I can maybe do. All right. So in the last episode, which I mentioned in the last episode, I was feeling really excited to talk about something, and it sounds so serious, but it's really kind of like a happy thing or like a cool thing, I guess. Um, that I got to experience, and I want to talk about it because I saw it yesterday. I saw it yesterday. What was it? I'll tell you in give me like 5 seconds. And like it's the earlier I talk about it, the more fresh in my mind it'll be, and I need it to be as fresh as possible because I think it deserves that. Um, so I went to go see a play yesterday. It's an off-Broadway play called Golden Shield. And it's by I'm gonna butcher this, Anchuli Felicia King. Um, and the problem is, um, let me just say that I saw this play out of complete randomness. I saw an Instagram ad, and I don't know. I don't know. I like the colors of the guy in the ad. He was very hype, and I like the colors that they were showing, and it looked aesthetically nice. And I was like, you know what? I'll go see a play. And after watching the play scenes that occurred in the movie Drive My Car, and from recently reading maybe a year or two ago the manga Act Age, which was canceled, but that's a whole different story. Um, I kind of had like the back of my mind like play could be pretty cool. Um, and I went, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and I am like also really upset because I wish I saw this play earlier because now I cannot see it again because today is the last day it's performing, or the last day it is being performed in theaters or on the stage. Um, so I can't see it again. So I regret that I couldn't see it earlier, and I went to go see it alone. So I am like not upset that I saw it alone, but I have no one to share this experience with. And because it's a play, I believe it's not like a recorded thing, so I don't think I can even rewatch a recording of this. I'm looking, but maybe something might pop up in a month or two. But all I have is what's in my head, and I can't even do it justice, right? I can't talk about a movie or play and like really hear about it. So I really won't be talking about the plot in detail, like at all. I'm just gonna give a quick synopsis, maybe if at all it is of interest to you, or you want to take my word for it. You can buy the book, right? Because these are plays, right? Like any Shakespeare play, is a book that you can read with a dialogue and script. Uh, where was I? I just can't do it justice, which is very unfortunate. Um, I'll quickly tell you the plot. It's kind of like an outside plot. I like to say like an inside plot. So the outside plot is a couple of citizens in China. They're suing an American tech company for working with the Chinese government to make the internet back in China more censored, right? Um, and the American tech companies, like, I guess their argument is that at the expense of censorship, which is not to their own people, America, it's to China, so they probably don't care morally. They are making the internet faster, right? So it's kind of like the outside story. It's like this whole it's based on this real real series of court cases where a tech company is being sued for making the Chinese internet more censored. And the reason why the court case is happening in America is because that court case wouldn't even fly in China. Uh, because they're pretty uh, not as I guess free to have a case like that. That's kind of like the outside story. The inside story is kind of like the lawyer who's representing these Chinese citizens. She um she is Chinese herself, and she moved to America for college, so she lost a lot of her I guess like ability to speak Chinese fluently, and so she because she wants to work on this case, she hires her sister, who she hasn't talked to in a while, to translate for her. And um these sisters, they have a connection, well, obviously because they're sisters, but also because of the fact that their mom was abusive to both of them. And the thing is, when the older sister went to college and she left her younger sister with her mom back in China, there's a lot of resentment there. So when they meet and she's asking her to help her, it's some tension there, and the tension just uh, exponentiates throughout the play. And basically, at the end of the play, a lot of things a lot of things don't go well. Don't go well for our main character, the lawyer, both in terms of family and the court case itself. And I'll just leave it at that in terms of the plot. Um, yeah, I'm not much more I'm gonna say on this play. I just think one, I'm encouraged to watch another play soon. I actually think that there aren't any right now because I think this play was part of a season of plays, and this is actually one of the plays that's ending the season. God, I'm just so regretful that I couldn't see this earlier, or that I can't even see it again. Um, one thing that's pretty cool about this play is that because it was in Chinese and English, there was a translator on the stage. Like sometimes standing front and stage, sometimes standing on the side, sometimes sitting on the side. Um, it was kind of like he was like a physical subtitle for the fans, for the viewers, right? And So he would translate. He would explain the way he translates. Sometimes he would say that he would translate directly, right? But sometimes that wouldn't make sense from Chinese to English. So he would, it would be his job to like, find the proper translation, and sometimes that's a big responsibility, right? Because you don't want to have miscommunication, and that's kind of one of the themes in the play too about miscommunication. Um, right. So he wouldn't only just translate like Chinese to English. He would also like translate like what a character might actually be feeling, might actually be saying. Like if he was a viewer himself. Like this is a silly example. It's a real one that happened to play it, but I wish it wasn't the only one I remembered. Um, when the sisters are fighting at one point, one of the sisters says, uh, "I'm fine," and then the translator he says out loud, "That means she's not fine." I mean, he also brought a sense of comedy to a somewhat serious play, which was good. It was a good like mix. It wasn't like cheesy or it didn't take away from anything. So he translated like things like that, like real meanings of what they're saying. He translated actual Chinese to English, and he also translated like when characters were not saying anything and they were just having physical motion. He would explain like what that means, and stuff like that. Um, I was a big fan of him. Oh, and on top of it, he also played like an external translator, but he also played a character of a translator in the play itself. Another thing I noticed that there was only really uh 8 actors in the entire play. Like the fact that they did so much with so little is mind blowing. Like I didn't realize that two of the actors were playing two different characters. Um, I guess I was just so like into it, right? Like like it was about 2.5 hour play, and like I didn't feel a single dull moment. Um, they were just swiveling tables and chairs around. Um, like they're doing so much with so little, right? Like, and when you compare like these movies that have like $1 billion budgets, and like sometimes they just suck. I think it says a lot. Anyways, I'm very happy, but I'm also bittersweet about the fact that I saw this play. I guess I guess like one of those like it's better to have seen it than I've not seen it at all, right? Kind of things. Um, I think I talked about that for a while. I talked about that for about 20 minutes. So perfect. I have no more to say because again, I just don't think I can do it justice. I hope I can see another play in the future. No, I will see another play in the future because this is great. This is a great experience. I am so fun, which is so fun. I can't do it justice, but I'm happy I was there. Again, the play was called Golden Shield. By the way, what is a Golden Shield? Golden Shield is kind of like the name of this firewall project that because the Chinese government is again this play is based on like real law cases and stuff. The Golden Shield is the kind of name of the Chinese firewall. So it's like they would always say in the play they would make lines like, "Oh, the citizens are they're trying to go over the firewall, trying to go over the wall." They're talking about the firewall, right? Because they don't have access to like Facebook and stuff like that, social media sites. So yeah, I'm not gonna get the nitty gritty. That's where the title comes from. There's some highlights on YouTube. There's a podcast about the director talking about the play on Spotify. Feel free to check those out if you're at all interested. Um, and I will leave a song at the end of this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the new Panic at Disco single that just came out. It's called the Viva Las Vengeance. I think it's a pretty catchy song. So I hope you enjoy that. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope it wasn't too rambly about a single topic, but I felt very passionate about it. So I'm glad I got to talk about it. Anyways, thank you for listening and have a good day.